There's a mute button. Hello and welcome, everybody. Hi, hello, how are you? Definitely getting a text message. These may be important today. Nope. Anyway. Hello, hi. Welcome to the stream. We almost got all the buttons pressed in the right order immediately this time. We're getting better. We're learning our flow. This new flow, but we're here. Anyway, I regress. I am going off on tangents. Hello, I'm Casey or Uncommon. We're learning to draw. That's my normal disclaimer here is I'm not teaching anything. My methods aren't necessarily the methods to learn to draw. I'm learning to draw. The words and the things that I say are coming from a place of attempting to understand where my brain is at the moment on that topic. But if you're here for that journey, if you're here to hang out, I welcome you. We're on day 15 of the stream, but I have been drawing at least as much offline as I have been online, significantly more. I think this last week I was able to sit down and do a bunch here on this little tablet. It's really driving some good motivation. It feels so good to use. That being said, today we're gonna do figures and faces. We'll do a quick warm up. Just maybe even a warm up sketch. I want to do some figure poses stuff today, but I want to take those and maybe draw better things. I don't know. We'll see. We were doing like 30-second, 2-minute poses, and those are very helpful, and I should do more of those. But I kind of want to take them and draw like a full, well-formed mannequin. Kind of. We'll see. We'll see how it works. I have a general idea of what kind of skeleton I want to attach these things to make it complete. We'll see if what's in the brain makes it to the paper today. Not something we've done. We spent the whole weekend, we spent almost all of yesterday doing Drawbox, and it ended up being 3 pages of exercises. Oh, excuse me. 3 pages of exercises. It took most of the day. Got a good, workout and a couple hours of some video games, but whew, that can be a little grindy. But not today. Today's the fun stuff. Probably. We'll figure it out. We're having problems figuring out what to draw each time we sit down. Because I guess if I was offline, I would just put on a class and we would follow along. But now we've got to use some imagination. But let's hit the art button. Let's go right into sketch. Just a quick, maybe make it blue, show my intentions. Give me that pencil. Do we have what we have? There we go. I mean, that's not blue, but we'll get there. The face turning to the left, and as usual, we don't pull the reference images on screen because I can't. They do not have clothes on, and I need myself not to get banned. But we're gonna try the whole of the human figure. I guess we should be doing things like gesture. There is almost clearly a straight line here. Let's do the basic shapes as I see them. It's the torso. This isn't one thing I'm also figuring out. It's composition of the space. We're using way too much of it. I guess that's just called composition. I don't have to say of the space yet, I think. I keep drawing with the select tool. Anyway. Shoulders are a little raised here. He's just an old man sitting down on a piece of furniture. The arms are coming almost straight down and sitting on the chair that he's sitting on, or at least they're fanned out kind of like that on the chair he's sitting on. Hip joints, we draw those here. His knees just past, just a little higher kind of coming at the camera. I'd say both sides of his hands, but this hand, now that I'm looking at it, comes out a little more. Foreshortened. Just trying to make sure I use the pencil tool. And then they come down and in. We're giving ourselves plenty of time for this one. What do we see? Like, we see the neck and the shoulder and the head. They're all kind of scrunched up. Neck, the head's turned to an ear, to a face. I don't know, we got a pretty rounded chin. Nose and eyes. Bring the brow in. Let's not get too fancy on the sketch. Side of the head feels a little flatter here. Not like that flat, but like the side of the head feels flat. Mostly the hair. Let's see. Just kind of trying to outline a realistic contour. I say realistic enough, and I'm scratching. Arms are a little big. Oh, sneezing is on the way. There's a sneeze somewhere in here. Oh boy. And this arm actually comes in front of the torso just a bit. Belly button's in here somewhere. We get a bit of a cylinder going that way. A knee that comes, let's see, we can go like this. I haven't decided how we're mannequinizing at the moment, but we're just getting stuff out. We're getting things on the table. Excuse me. Kind of representing it, making it feel like pose, and I think we've definitely not foreshortened enough with the knee there. Representing that might be one of my challenges. So it feels natural. And similar things, I think, here. And we do get a little bit of the hand here. We can simplify the knuckles, the thumb, and then some fingers. And we can come in here again with the good eraser and take out some of those excess lines. Let's get the eraser on some of these bigger segments. And I want to put the blue, this thing he's sitting on, this line, into the photo. Guess it's better to free draw it, but it is a part of the scene. I don't need to spend forever on it. We're just sketching. We're just sketching. No feet. We're gonna spend some time on feet one of these days. Not that I have any. Well, I guess hands and feet and all the things. What we do, I don't really want that to be blue. Bringing the chest out, we have the major muscle groups on the chest there, which anatomy we ain't really learning. We haven't really decided how things get cartooned with us yet either. That's one of my kind of where we're going. And figuring out how to display how we want to put these arms in a recognizable cartoon-like shape. But there's your 5 minutes. It's that thing peeled away. Alright. It's a new layer. We did say faces and figures. So let's see what we can do. We still need a face. I would love just some angles to work with. We got something kind of here. I have been in the habit of, not in the habit, I've been occasionally scanning Pinterest for things like this. Just a face in directions. Things I want to draw. Alright. Alright, let's go ahead and freehand this. Let's go and try to sketch this out. I'm purple. Let's make it purple. Purple is not it's a very light color. It's like the one of the weaknesses I have is starting with the circle. You know, can we get a good circle if it's going to act as the foundation for everything we're doing? So we have what? We have a face. It's straight on. We're starting straight on here. Proportionally, I want to say it's about here. We get these two angles, the sharp one And then the sharper one? Yeah, no. The wide one. And then the sharper one as you get closer in. It looks a little rounded on the left because we started the turn upwards at a different spot. Okay. Simple mouth placement I keep seeing right about here. Small nose in between. Just right there. And for some reason we're in G pen, didn't mean to. But that's fine. That's fine. We're dealing with. Let's put our lines in. Take a look at the photo. See where there's any skew. How are they doing eyes? This is just a circle. How they have their line in a slightly different place. It's just a circle with another ellipse. I guess an ellipse on the lips. They're doing a little tear bit down there, and then the eyes. This line, its eyebrows are these thin to thicker. Now, what have we done different? Where do we have a bad feeling? Eye placement. I guess there's more to the brow in this particular photo. If I were to take all of this, I think, and move it to the right. It would be equally nightmarish. Equally nightmarish. All right, let's pull the copy. Let's pull the reference. Okay. We get to just kind of move it over and check. Move it on top. What did we do wrong? Little bits of placement. You can see we favored the right side angle a bit. We leaned everything kind of to the right. Okay, let's try it again. Where are they putting their lines? I feel like they're doing the head chop, and they're putting the eyes dead center there. Or I guess let's break it down. Yeah, no, they're right about where that line is connecting with the jaw. This tilt here is where I'm seeing it, at least in this perspective, this anatomic choice. the nose a little lower than that. Yeah, I think I've already put everything way too high. And maybe not giving enough value to this angle here on the side. Which should let me getting everything I draw so far looks like a creepy doll. I think we bring the head down. Let's see where we land. Still looks a little big in the cranium, but in proportion, we have a much better placement of things. They're touching in the right spots at least. I feel like we need to zoom in a bit. Oh, we're not even at 100%. Hey, Cam. How you doing, brother? XYVP, good to see you again. Hey. Oh. Stretch. Probably directly conflicting with my in the middle of figure drawing classes by doing these proportions, but yeah, I'm always good to hear some tips. If I'm ever not, I'll let you know. I do have a lack of feedback on my journey, as in it's not regularly programmed into, the journey at all. So if we think about, we want to maybe think about the halves. Do they half any of this? Like half the circle is here, half the line is there. I think that feels like a quarter down. Like if we break this in. Yeah, display tablet. Absolutely. Let's try to get the shapes on the screen in the example more like better represented, right? We saw the curved line there for the mouth, like kind of a curve on top, the angles of the lines on the bottom. Hide the bar, hide the top bar. Is there a full screen bar? Or a hotkey for this? And so far I got pretty good amount of size. But if there was a hotkey for just hiding all the tools, I wouldn't mind. Tab will hide every tab. Oh, cool. Cool. That's nice. Thank you. And then shift tab. Okay. And then tab. Yeah, because I want to see there are things I want to see on the left and the right, but I don't always need them. Thank you. Alright, the eyes here, if we break it down, we have a center line, we have the edge of the circle. That looks about center. You have little arrows on your tab to hide them individually. Like, I know we have these here. So I guess that's pretty good. Oh, double does. Shift tab twice does that. Because there was a tablet mode I messed with for a bit, but it was hiding too much too permanently. So knowing that I hit tab there is super helpful. Thank you. Not that I've often felt like I'm out of space. But it has happened. And just giving me this more zen-like setup feels nice. Alright, so we're going for an actual circle. It's really thick line work, and we do see there's thin line work on the inside. We're just copying a bit now. It might not be complete circles. It might be, let's say, empty on the bottom, but they've got that bubble there. Oh, to highlight. Alright, so dead center. It's about here. Mostly focusing on getting our shapes and our proportions of the jaw line and the face placement right. I think we're going to learn something when I put this on top of the reference. If you can drag the tab and leave them floating, by the way, but I bet your streaming app ain't picking it up. Fortunately, this is like the one time I can use. I'm just displaying the whole tablet. So all those things would work. Makes it a little easier for me at least. Before, when I'm streaming, games. Yeah, we were kind of small. Our center line for the left eye was fine. The right eye is a little too far inward. A little larger in proportion to itself. That's what we need. Really, the approach so far is to add add these tips and tools a little bit at a time. So now that we have the full screen, I'll add that in my workflow. See if I like it, right? See how it feels over time, and then keep or dismiss it. We're either gonna leave these tools up full time, or I'm gonna get used to using it this way. We're gonna choose a way, but it's gonna, you know, one major change at a time. Try it later though. You can pick up the tab or the color wheel. Gotta need them for the next tips. Yeah, keep changing them. Yeah, small adjustments. Small adjustments. I do like the color wheel. So like if I had a choice, I would get this full color wheel. I'd use this whole bottom left section pretty frequently, and then I'm using the top left section up here to kind of remind myself where we're at between things. We can get used to those in the tabs. I tried moving the color wheel and like the brushes off to the right before. That didn't feel right, so we're working on it. All right. We had some maroon eyeballs before too, so let's pop that bad boy out and just do a couple of our own. Let's see what feels good. I do appreciate it. By the way, thank you, XYVP. Whether I, use or incorporate tips, I do like to hear thoughts, what everybody else does and how they do it. This is one of the moments where I get kind of that feedback, hanging out and talking to other artists. Otherwise, I'm doing everything in isolation. See, this all feels super slim. Alright, let's get rid of everything. Let's draw big. Let's use the whole 100% canvas. Well, 100% zoom, not the whole canvas. Hey, don't mind me just throwing some tips. You can check them out later. Oh, I'm reading them. Ain't having enough time to bring them up slowly for you. I know worries. Oh, hey, we haven't had to hit the bend button on Twitch in a minute. There you go, bot. Where's our pencil? Where's our area? We need a layer. So, let's just use black so we have visibility. Let's get a good circle. Alright, let's do that after everything's off the screen. Alright, we're mixing in a little bit of our own. Like, it's not our own, don't call it our own style. We're gonna start adding in different facial features that we've come to like. If we can find the middle before we start throwing it on there, let's think about where I place this. So, halfway between there and there, it's about here. Probably. This feels too wide. But I'll give it time to breathe. big old proportional problems. Now if I were to, so it feels wide, does that mean if I shrink it down left, right, it feels better? A little bit, actually. A little bit. So I think what we're trying to do with the eye that's placement of the pen. That's another thing I gotta work on. Putting it down in the right spot. Making the marks I intend to mark. Putting down, you know, good lines when I intend them to be good. We did mess with stabilization a bit when we were doing some line work the other day on my own. There's also what little young me remembers of the old Dragon Ball eye. Not from reference on that one, but you remember this big old thick brow, which I don't need to color in, but I'm watching closely where the ink and the line is going and where I expect it to go. Let's see. What are some other shapes? So we've worked with trying to get kind of this shape done well. The side 3/4 turn. And found ourselves, you know, a bit lacking. We were doing this the other day, trying to find what felt right and natural. Of course, this face feels... Trying to find the right angles for this, and the right depth. Especially when you start thinking about the ear placement and how it's a bit big, right? You want it to come up to the top of the brow. Of course, you put so many lines down, you gotta choose one. Can't choose many of them. And I do like this more feminine, like thicker top brow, but I've got to find, you know, maybe the right lines to bring it together. It's just more of a darker top, thicker top representing the lashes. The other way I've seen it done lately, or I've been kind of sketching it out, just to do a line like that. But I don't know what I would do with the eye in this case. You know, do we throw in a eyeball as such? Given that, we can... But it's more about intentionally getting me to put this shape down, I think. The second eye. That's something. Alright, let's see. I've been pretty happy with, like, getting a neck shape down. Mostly this line I really like. Hair. What's the top of the head? We think about something around there. Maybe a little wider. What about hair, though? How do we hair? Short. Of course, I'm taking most of my hair lessons from the little bit of Luffy I've thrown together, which would be a whole nother face. Is this a whole nother face? Like I said, there's something we can do to make this feel better, but I think the answer is move on. Stretching. Alright, let's have some more, I guess, random ass references off to the side. And the wildest thing I'm doing to myself right now is not locking in a particular style or ensuring the things I'm drawing from are proportionally smart. I would love to find, where's anime neutral drawing angles? I'll just have everything I ever need. Refresh the home feed. What do you think I want to see today? And what I wouldn't mind being able to do, even without the placement of the face, is just a bunch of these, like, can I put down a head from any angle? What does that look like? Probably looks like something with a shape. You can do this, I think, for a couple of different angles. Okay. We're gonna do a new layer. So, if I wanted to go this way, to the right. Face looking to the right. I don't even need to get into the to the facial features. You know, am I hitting the ballpark with something like that. Looking down, this would be really stubby here, right? We would just stubby shape there. Scratches aren't helping my case. You know, straight on. Let's try looking down again. Here, let me click myself a reference over here. So I think the circle plays a bigger part in it, and that the line up there. And then this is a very shallow jaw. It doesn't feel right. Something's feeling off. Alright, moving on. My ability to make these circles that kind of do a direction. Shave off the side of that, right? Then we have this shape there. We always do these little masks that look like they can be a helmet. I think one thing I'm getting wrong here too is this needs to be a straight line. So we do the circle. Right, and then we shave off the side. And that's a straight line down. If we're doing straight lines, nose, mouth. I've done this monstrosity a few times, lacking something. I mean, placing facial features on a Loomis head, not really, I guess, the goal either. Okay, let's go with so this would have been about like that. Trying to get the ellipse, the full shape here, but then that line. Alright, here, let's do, now that we have that up, let's add a layer, add some transparency, add some color. Now, a little flat on top of the head. We're trying to get good lines here on the chin. Maybe not that pointy or that flat. I guess if we want good lines, we have to take them. We can't scratch them on, right? We've got to find the right line. Some hair. See, not the line, actually not even the line I would want to go. We add roundness. So let's redo the ear, get that in a good place. The eyes probably needed to pick up a direction, but there they are. Let's clean up some of the mouth. That's a pencil. I want the pen. We're kind of experimenting. We also don't know how to do mouths. We haven't decided how we do them. Hey, Genuine, thank you. I appreciate the encouragement. Now, I think one of my problems with this one is we've got this head kind of tilted, you know, up that way and over that way, and the eyeballs are looking straight on me. So what can I do to fix it? How do we make them look like they are looking up and to the right? That's better. I know you're not going to get all the circle there on the right. Now that one looks more... What if we do... Now it feels like we clean up the grin a bit. If it even is a grin. We're feeling it. We're painting by feeling. Drawn by feeling? I bet a line tells most of the story here. Those lines aren't helping me there. The chin doesn't help. Cool. Alright, let's keep it up. So we do another sketch layer. Let's get rid of some of the... I think I'd like to sketch and then... I don't want to call it inking, but kind of ink. Like we just did. Put something down, finalize. So if I just take this layer, you just delete it. And we just call this the sketch layer. Yeah, that works perfect. Alright, so we get a good circle. We want to try up like a... I want to say more equal up. But now I've got this line that kind of gave me this direction. We shave off the sides. We have an actual shaving or an eraser for one of those. I do think we see the back there. We've got this that line. Does it really feel like we're looking up if I do this? So we got like the bottom of the circle, and it wouldn't be a perfect circle, right? It would be a... Sketch. All right. What I want to see, I say in my mind, you know, these are the lines we normally connect there. They're coming at an angle. Right, some kind of up-looking angle. We're making guesses. We got some references. There's got to be one of these head tilts off to the side that's looking front and up. There we go. This one did more of a chaw over. And I'm assuming like a neckline here. Now we're kind of rotating this circle this way with this chin. Maybe a little more slice here. I'm gonna even all this out a bit. I'm seeing something different as I'm putting it down. Which leaves, you know, nose. There, now we can back to this layer. So we do some line work like this. we have? What do we have? The nose, looking up at it. Maybe that line there for the bridge. Looks a little too small. Looks a little childlike in proportions. Now we're just kind of we haven't changed up the way the eye looks from this angle. Maybe that's what I need to do. Is shorten it. Probably bring it closer. How does the mouth define itself? I mean, just looks like a toddler still. Put a little two strings of hair on him. So, why does this evoke in me baby-like proportions? Is it the nose? Is it this chin? I assume it doesn't get any better if we, flatten it out like this. Is it the thickness of the chin? If we took it and we erased it, maybe made it lighter, like the hint of a chin. Get rid of some of the sketch lines. A little better. Maybe less pronounced. That feels better all of a sudden. Let's put some good line art to that. I say let's put some good line art. Let's thicken that line a bit. Can we like round out the lips a bit? Maybe a change in the nose. We just change it. Change it. I'll take it for now. I'll take it. Face is smaller because of the angle. Okay. So maybe... these out. Not delete. What was that achievement for? Okay. We're using a game now for our sound. We're going to see how that works with our copyright stuff. So I'm assuming we can come in then, like that. Let's get rid of that scratch line and just commit to something. That definitely takes away some of the baby feel. Appreciate it. Add some features back in, see if we can't make it feel like a person, and then we'll move on. Nope, nose to eyebrow, right? A bunch of hair would cover up mistakes. I'm trying to thin those lines out. Let them know who's boss. In fact, I mean, the closer lines would be the thicker ones, right? If we were... A little bit of a shadow here. That shadow looking like a, kind of like this. Kind of maintain that shape. At this point, we're probably just adding more detail than is strictly necessary. Like a couple of hashes will do this trick here. Let's do just a couple of hashes. And then I see a line here that could be shaved in. Okay. The nostrils would show at this angle. Something like that. I also feel like they could be bigger eyes, at least left, right. I liked the idea of making them smaller, but I think I meant like not as round, not necessarily as... Here, we're gonna do that. Hold control and just stretch it a bit. Tiny adjustment. And just for funsies. Let's add some hair. Let's envision what hair might look like. I did layer it. Covering up things with hair. Oh, I meant to erase this one too. lift the eraser every once in a while, so if I erase something I don't mean to, I can undo more than the whole thing. Not that we're focusing on perfection here. In fact, this is probably a line I just have to... Haha. Hey, Abdunia. I am having a pretty good day. Let's in the right one vibes. We are, we're definitely doodling. Doodling. Hope you're having a great one yourself. This is always the most stressful of the things we try to do here. Anything. I had a good Sunday of popping through Drawbox, and that was that's the kind of thing I've been getting into. I think it's, you know, super low stress, and I feel like I'm learning something. And at the end of the day, if I'm drawing a box or a line sloppy, I can work on that. That's a line thing. This feels more nebulous. This feels more... We're getting there. We're working. Thanks for hanging out. I gotta shut up my brain sometimes and just draw. That's so hard to do. Alright, let's see. We're choosing a direction. 3/4 turn is something we've been struggling with. Something like... that. No upward, downward movement. Probably more like that with that line, though. Let's see if we can't find a good jawline we like. Alright, back to this layer. Let's zoom in a bit. The new tablet, I tell you, is I'm really enjoying it. I am. I'm super enjoying the time with the tablet. The size is amazing. Even it's 3 inches bigger. Which makes, I think was like a... Well, it's a big improvement. 4K screen is making my lines feel better when I zoom in. The pencil is felt tip, so it feels like it has a good friction to it. This is the Huion 19 Pro. So, pretty good. Pretty good. I couldn't justify anything like a Wacom for the, you know, sizes and, well, for the size I wanted. So I'm really happy Huion exists. I think I want to do more there with the nose. Huions are good tablets in my experience. They've been a godsend for me. But I haven't had a lot of Wacom experience otherwise. I just understand that they're the industry standard. Never sat down on the industry standard to know any better. But this one, and I had a 16 before. About 4 or 5 years ago, I bought the Huion 16 Pro. Maybe like 2021. Might have been 2022. I don't want to say they feel like night and day. At least some of it's probably in my head, right? Super excited to have new toy. But this does feel like an improvement on their old tablet. Less scratchy lines. You know where your lines are gonna be. If you don't like them, you can erase them. Me. What do we do with the eyes? The eyes. It's always the eyes. Like, the face looks fine until we start doing, you know, googly eyes off to the side. We've been doing this shape for a minute. I don't mean you to be angry, but that's all that mouth is gonna portray right now. What is more easier for you to draw? How so? What do you mean, Genuine? Because at the moment, I would say nothing is easy for me to draw. We are. Lines are tough. Circles are harder. Let's give ourselves, let's see. So if I understand the eyebrow, it does kind of come to the side of the head a bit. And if I understand this turn here, usually represented, you know, this turn of the head here. I have a hard time doing cars and food mostly. Okay, I see what you're asking. I haven't drawn a lot of things, really. Most of the things I've put down have been figures, poses, lines, and boxes. I did draw my water bottle the other day. I find those are easier. Maybe I'm just not putting the weight of, you know, people on it. But, you know, I can kind of look at this and say, you know, it feels off. I can maybe talk about why it feels off. But finding the right things to make it, you know, feel on is tough for me at the moment. Like, okay, the eyes feel dead. You know, maybe they're too small. You know, maybe they need to be a little bigger. You know. Generally, when I was drawing these eyes, I'm like, all right, this is a feminine figure. You know, it doesn't feel that feminine. It feels pasted on. You know, I can see these things and how they feel, and if I could correct and visualize and put to paper something that feels better, I think I'll be happy. I'll be happier. I'll be making progress, and that's kind of what we're doing today. Kind of what we're doing always, I guess. It's like I want to make this a little more feminine to whatever feeling I think we're at. Let's go back to the sketch layer. Yeah, bring it in more. We need a lot of erasing there too. There we go. Go away. So, you know, what the options include, you know, rounded face. Maybe narrower face. Bring it in more, right? That might be it. Drawing background clutter is easy. There's somebody I've seen who did, it was some artist, and he was really well known for lots of intricate detail on backgrounds and buildings. And the way he described it, something I'm hoping to be able to explore at some point, but there weren't a lot of lines, but they were just the right lines to convey the ideas of the shapes more than to draw the intricate details on the buildings. And I just can't think of the name of the guy. Female faces give off a round shape, but it's what you want. And well, this is where we're kind of at right now. Is I think I'm in a copy stage. There's no style to what I'm putting down yet. This is all accidental. I would love to learn, you know, the basics, the standards, and then let the you know, style happen naturally. I don't think I'm in the phase yet where I'm going to say that's not how I draw this, or that doesn't, you know, feel it. But if we're going to say rounder shape, let's try that. We make this a rounder. Now we're just putting too many lines down. We're blurring the idea. But if we start from like rounded face. Oh, I feel something here. We're not in the sketch layer, but we are sketching. Let's now, since we went through the eye, I like that. Let's take out the offending line. Rounded's a good bit of advice. I wonder if we can do anything else with just simple tricks. Simple, you know, put some eyelashes in there. You know, just kind of bring them out, make them visible. What about little weird looking highlights? Let's play with those for a minute. Shiny eyes. I've seen lips do this once. That looks like a thing. I think we're trying to convey the idea of the mouth more than draw it out right now. But maybe more upward. Ah, now you look like an Iron Man suit of armor with the plate mask, right? Could always do something crazy. Big old Joker grin. Even put the teeth in there. That's what the undo button's good for. But I think what I did just see is a creative use of line width. Hi. The good old erase things until it looks like a thing. Not the pencil. Give me a pen. Alright, well, erase your thing first. Now give me a pen. I don't know if the chin does much for me here. There's lots of little, like, supporting lines we could throw in. You know, we could add that hair layer. What do we feel like with this one? No, not face covering. Also a thing we don't know how to do yet, so we're playing. We're in the play space. Which is a fun place to be in sometimes. Have you seen the anime meme where people take an anime face and make it smaller to the point where it looks like a mouth? No, do they just take it and, like, we're talking like highlighting all of it and then shrinking it like that? Or are we talking like the whole of the head? Yeah, just the nose and the eyes. Oh, that's pretty good. No, I haven't seen that. Oh, I am on too much social media already, while simultaneously not enough social media. I often don't, I don't see the things I don't want to see. But there's fun stuff out there I'm not seeing at all. Oh, yeah, this is some hair. I got a little Pinterest thing over here. We could do something like that. Now they stretch it out and it's funny. Yeah, I'll have to take a look. I'll have to poke around for anime head stretching. Alright, let's go with something like this. All the way down. Maybe not. I need 2 strokes here. We give them real good lines. They don't have to be these. There. Give them real good lines. Let's commit. little thicker back here, right? Like that would be hair, but I would just put it in a bun. Can I do a bun? Is that super easy? Is it just super simple? Kind of messing with the jaw again because there's some improvements, of course, to be made, but more of a study than a fixing here. Let's take some of those out. I feel like we've got this line here that we're ignoring with that chin. Like we could do a little more with that one. Alright, let's be happy with where we're at right now. I feel like we had something when we first drew that line. Like a maybe more of a shadow thing than a full on. But ooh, monstrosity. Alright. Do it again. Actually, probably need some more coffee. So let me just stand up for a minute. Fill this cup, and we'll be right back, y'all. Enjoy. Okay. We're back. Get that. A little bit of repair. Into the programming. Let's take a look at that. Let's take a look at the face. We got I see a face. Looks like a good tilt to it. Drawing random things on Pinterest. Part forever. Alright, so in this one, we've got the circle. And they've got kind of the face comes out to the side. Kind of like this. Nose. And then big old eyeball. Side of an eyeball. And now I'm already drawing at an angle I'm not seeing. Because it's more... Whew. Sketch lines get thick real fast. Maybe I should be on sketch pencil. It's alright, we'll fix that in a moment. Now the back of the head they've got continuing, in this case, all the way around based on the angle? I think we need to clear some clarifying lines right now. Because I'm just... what's happening? That's not even the line. Here it would be like up here. Because we're at an angle. We kind of let this line here come in. The nose breaks it up just a bit. Okay, that sketches out a little better. Not that I did that on the sketching layer, but let's move all that to the sketching layer. Or new sketching layer. Alright, let's try to ink something out here. Let's take our time with these lines. Gotta go. Hey, have a good one, Genuine. Good to see you. Appreciate you stopping by. Poof. Making some corrections on the fly that we're seeing. we're trying to understand. Some light flashing here. More rounded there. I think we bring that up. Okay, let's do this line and the eyebrow. And it's not completely colored in. Let's leave a little bit of the highlight. Trying to be more detailed with the pen rather than these big strokes I've been doing. Intentional, if you will. I mean, that's gotta look. I don't hate it. I mean, again, a bit of a copy, but what do we learn from it? You know, what can we do now that we've got kind of this understanding? If I sketch this out a second time, change any number of things up, you know, what picture do we end up with? Yeah, we get rid of that bottom chin. Does that do us any favors? I think one of the lessons is definitely careful with the line work. The urge to sketch it quickly is, I think, an urge to be at the end result of the journey where I can sketch this, you know, sketch what I want quickly, and it shows up the way I want it. But that's, I think, just kind of part of the journey. Gotta slow down sometimes. If the sketch is in there, it'll show up. Some better lines in there. Some better lines, not all of them. It is kind of important, I feel like, this back rounded head, though. Like, the shape of the head fell into place so well before. Okay, just gonna take this work. Let's make it red. Can I make it red? I do a color change on a selection, I guess. If we, it is its own thing. If I cut it and paste it. And now we can change that color to something else. So I can see it. Kind of an analysis of where we're at, what we did differently. If I line up the nose and the mouth, you know, bring the eyes in a little more. Do I see that? Yeah, brings them in a little more. The rest of the head is too big for the face. So kind of like, you know, one of these the easy way. The rest of them, okay. Coming to a place. Get some erasing over here. We did some erasing over there to find it. Now we ended up with a head shape we liked last time, and how much of that was a result, a simple result of a circle that we haven't done yet. Like, you know, where's the circle? Was it that easy? Back to the sketch layer. Just more like that. Just kind of forcing. See if I can't force out some differences here. I'm not trying to copy though. I guess I'm trying to keep things and adjust it, but that's kind of the... We're experimenting. We're playing. There we go. We're playing. Leaves a little bit of the highlight in there. Let's thicken the far end. Give this some light hashing. Get the ear. That brow. We do another eyebrow like there wasn't in the reference. Have we done anything? Part 2. We lost something, I still think, in the shape of the head. But it's alright. I don't want to spend hours on any one particular piece. Oh, alright. Let's click over here real quick on my idle game to get that out of my system. Where are we at? We're at a place. Cool, 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 cool. Things are happening. Okay, enough of that. Oh, that suddenly feels like an amazing line. So much better. Cool, cool. The only thing that feels super awkward, well, the only thing, all the face does, all this bottom half of the jaw, but all right, let's do a thing. Kind of circle until we find the circle we want. And we try to bring it in. We're not super even yet. We had this character out the other day. Just from memory, I want to see kind of where we are. I remember the egg-shaped eyes. Had a bit of a wacky eyebrow. And again, probably drawing it all super thick. And then that real shiny, glossy look to her eyes with the little moon that comes out. The hair was, yeah, kind of out here. Kind of definitely covered up the ears. There we go. Art. So, better lines. She definitely had this triangle face. Again, covered up with the hair, so we need to probably chop those off ahead of time since we're inking. There wasn't a smile like that. It's more of a line. Ovals for the cheeks. I want to say we had a more defined nose, but I actually can't remember. So let's see if we can do good taper, or at least I want the line to feel better. Okay, let's up that stabilization to something. See what that does for us. Does quite a bit. Doesn't do everything, but it is doing a bunch. Definitely helped me make smaller lines more precisely and slowly. I don't like stabilization at 100 for most of what I do, but I do need to get used to at least a higher stabilization. Maybe not 100. Told a buddy I'd really give it a try. Now, biggest thing I think on her face so far is it ain't squished enough. So we're just gonna cheat just a bit. No, I think we're gonna cheat a different way. The whole face. Control and squish. Just a bit. Okay. Trying to remember. Big forehead. Seems right. So we're just gonna give ourselves, hit those lines better. And let's take a peek without the sketch. How's the line art coming? It's a line art. That's a phrase I heard at some point. When you do the sketching, throw the line art on top of it, and the line art looks worse. And the emphasis there is that line art is also art. I did hear about 1.1. I have been so disconnected. Oh, and if I didn't see you up to you, hey, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for stopping by. Hope we well, good to see you again. Yeah, Dan. Hey, I did, but I've been super. I think I played more Satisfactory than I wanted to go back for the winter update, and I just was like, I'm good. I've played it so much, which is I love the game, and I want to go back and play. But every time I load it up, I just go, ugh. Always happy to pop in. Uh, they're going to do a DLC. I did not see a DLC announcement. What are the details? We have like an island or a new tier. I definitely want them to be able to sell something. That would be nice. I think next time I go in, well, I'm gonna have to beat it. I still have to beat the game, and I do want to beat it. I'm gonna have to like, what am I thinking? Finish it, beat it, and then load up the Christmas, like just mod in the Christmas stuff, so I can do those too. No details. It's coming after the console version. I'm assuming it has a new island or planet, new Hyperloop splitters too. I did hear about those. I saw some YouTube short title that brought them up, and that sounds awesome. I would love to use splitters and just one big hypertube network to get around. That would be so much nicer than anything we have to do now, which is like get out at junctions and have whole new entryways and exit points. In fact, what splitters do, that should save power, right? Because I don't only have to have like one triple, quadruple, quintuple entrance point that really picks up the speed on each end. Some of these I'm feeling. Some of these we'll get better at, of course, but we're doodling. All right, looking mighty fine. Thank you. We've stepped away from like the 3-hour copy reference that kind of led the first week and a half, where we made some stuff that we're super proud to show off, into things that we're getting better. We're getting better. But heads. Oh, nope. We cannot play with that much stabilization in our sketching. I think 20 is about my limit for what I can do. I want to try that looking down thing again. So if we're like spheres looking down, I need probably a better circle. Let's just keep drawing lines. That always helps, right? That's not how you do it. Okay, yep, too many lines. Too many lines. All right, let's try again. Okay, and then line, I want it to be straight up and down, which means we shave off the sides a bit. We are, like, that's the eye, the nose, it's probably down here, which means we get a bit of a truncated, like a foreshortened, is I think the word, jawline. So let's do nose. This is just the brow. Eyes. Over here. Of course, we've got to worry about the hair. It's kind of doing whatever it wants to do back here. I don't know what we've decided. We haven't done like a pulled back look. Gotta think about the actual hairline then. which is generally what, 1/3 up from there, so like something back here with some kind of tail, some kind of hair feature bundled up. Now, are they looking down? How do we get the down done properly? Any references to steal from? Any ideas over here? Yeah, there's that one, barely. I think the first thing I'm seeing, unless my angle is a little... It's not as sharp, I think. Do we have ears that kinda... Ears don't tell that tale, do they? Because that feels cut off. Oh, you know what? I bet ears would do. They'd be higher. We could place them a little higher to get that look, and now I'm feeling it. Let's do that. Now we just gotta draw the other half exactly like we do the first half. And then cut that in that much. I'm gonna go over this kind of sharply, but let's find we have a red layer. All right, let's find these lines again in red. Okay, that's not the way to do it. We just want one line. Okay. I believe we're out of... Here, let's do a little bit of shading. We gotta bring this one up or down a bit, but let's see if we can't find it. Getting the symmetry of these left and right sides, that's something too. Can we even make this brow longer? Not really. We can see by the ear, though, we've got a little bit of a problem. At least in the placement of the side of the head. think maybe we go back to 2 sets of lines. I gotta clarify that up a bit. We've been putting some lines on it. Okay, well let's try this out. Let's see how that feels. Let's do some more tapering so we make it art. Let's increase our stabilization a bit. We're gonna try 68. I want bigger ears. All right, let's get this curve. So I'm seeing this straight line I'd like to bring back. Let's get rid of this bad boy. Back to here. Let's see if I can't do that. That looks fine. Let's add some thickness to these lines. In the back. At the edge of the paper. That's fine. I don't know if these lines do what I want them to do, but we're putting them down. Okay, we can see the mistakes with the lines. Let's try to darken up some of these. Let's see some of the mistakes with the lines. What about that line? That line with some erasing on the right spots. This is the eraser, right? What am I? Okay. pow. Lines. Alright. Let us take a nice max saturation pen across the whole thing. Now, the first thing I'm seeing, of course, is this damn chin is just haunting me. It's mostly that it's off-center. We're just gonna go as if we can just do this line perfect the first time. All the way up. A little bit of extra thickness. Lines. Way too much stabilization for what we're doing suddenly. You know, the black of this brow, these lashes, really brought some depth to what's there. But the lines are still, if we take this out, like we're missing some lines. Go back to a smaller brush. You know, does shading this out help at all if we hash out the whole of this? Are we doing anything? But there's gonna be better ways to doing the hair pull back, and we're probably not following an actual hairline. I think we lose a lot of the forehead this way. In fact, that's probably more the problem. So we've got this. That's the actual, you know, shape of the sphere. Not that all of this happens like this, right? Like we would, you still have hair that, let's try to figure it out. That comes down and over. There's like this bit. I think the left side's right. The left side is correct. Feels like something might follow the curve of the head and then get to about here and then cut in. Not saying this solves any problems. We're experimenting. In fact, we can do this cut with the shaved head bit underneath. Take out some of those. horizontal lines. I saw a piece of art, and I frequently learn art on Reddit a bit. And so the art in question was somebody asking for help, figuring out how to improve their art. Which is a nice thing I like to see. You know, what kind of advice are people getting? You know, can I learn anything from the advice? If I look at a piece, can I tell what the advice will be ahead of time? You know. The answer for this one of the answers was, you know, well, what can I improve? And people said add texture more to the scruff and the shaved parts of the head. And the response was, well, of course, I don't know how to do that. I guess I'll keep an eye out for a brush that'll do it. And that's the part where I was thrown off. I didn't think like, all right, I'm not trying to paint by brush. I'm not trying to paint texture by brush. This person was. I don't know how often, how common of a thing that is. I think it's why it's one of the things I'm gonna probably never lean into brushes that add effects. I want to draw the effects. I want to put them down myself, like the hair. I'm either gonna paint this whole thing, you know, one color. We're gonna ink it in with our own lines. Are we coming to anything? Yeah, I should leave this off now. I think we're good on the layer itself. Like the sketch layer. But talking about color. Can I just hit a brush? Do I have a good brush button? Alright, let's go ahead and get rid of all the marks, make them even. Coloring. Painting. Which is going to be part of my coursework later. Let's just add a splash. I just want to add a little splash of color to this piece. And a piece of darker color. And I think a piece of lighter color. Now we're playing with light and colors. Oh, still don't like the shape of any of the jaw. But we put together a thing, and that always feels nice. Ooh. Stretch. It might almost be me though. I think we've done some good stuff. I want to eat lunch and I want to get back to the Drawbox stuff I was working on yesterday. But I like to think a few pieces today. If we can, let's move some of these closer together. In fact, here, let's merge these three. And let's do some cleanup of our space here. I gotta put a thumbnail down, you know. think, fun enough, I want to front and center this little guy here. Guy, gal. I don't think my art distinguishes well enough between them yet. But that you see in the thumbnail, production live. It's also this thing of like, with a sketchbook, I could flip through it. With all this digital stuff, I could flip through it, but I need to put in a little bit of work to find the things. So, there we go. I want to change the paper color, but I'm probably gonna have to right click. Or do I just... Yes, currently locked. Alright, we'll worry about that later. Oh, layer color, there you go. I draw on a little bit of gray. Instead of white. I just have to keep that in mind myself. Anyway. Boom! Hello there. Thank you for hanging out. We threw down today. We threw down some work on the tablet. Like an eyelash made its way. Into my mouth. That was wild. Anyway, threw down some lines. Came up with some pretty good angles and some things I wouldn't mind exploring more. You know, there's only the ones on the bottom. The bottom three, you know, I'd feel a little bit like I either needed to explore that or redo a bit to find the proportions. And not saying the proportions on the top are indicative of what the right thing is, but it is indicative of making improvements. So, hey, awesome. We're here. We're doing stuff. Catch us live 5 days a week. We're getting to this rhythm of like 2.5 to 3 hours, and this is probably what it'll look like as I kind of focus on things that are uncomfortable to draw in front of people. I guess we're getting subconscious maybe, but that's fine. That's what we're here for. We're here to force some drawing, and we are drawing off stream, so that's nice. That's been something that I wanted to make sure we were doing, especially if we're doing the shorter streams. So anyway, hang out tomorrow. Same thing. We'll probably be hitting the same area. So have a fantastic day, guys. We'll see you tomorrow. Buttons are somewhere.